Hey everybody, Tim here with tonight's episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 2, Episode 8, Necessary Evil. So overall, I think this was an okay episode. It was pretty good. So it starts out pretty basic, and it just slowly builds over the course of the episode, where we see Quark on Bajor, which I think this is the first time we've ever seen Quark not on the station. And he's talking to a woman, and she's trying to smuggle some stuff in, something or other. And they kind of talk about how years ago she was on the station when her husband was killed. And so you can kind of tell that this is going to be an important episode of the past. And so when Quark gets back to the station, he's killed, or he's shot, and everybody's like, oh, Quark's dead. He ends up surviving, of course. I mean, if anybody's seen the show, they know Quark survives. And it kind of leads to some funny dialogue with Rom, because Rom's like, I didn't do it. And then they're like, but if you did, then if you get the bar. And he's like, oh, yeah. So it's kind of some entertaining dialogue, especially when Odo and Sisko are playing the good cop, bad cop against Rom. It's kind of interesting. But most of this episode is all told in flashback, where we see Odo, and it's kind of interesting because it gets really dark and kind of almost black and white, because it's supposed to be like one of those old detective shows. And so we see Odo basically come on board Deep Space Nine, or Terok Nor as it was then, and he meets Gul Dukat, who was in charge of the space station then, and a man has been murdered, and Gul Dukat wants Odo to figure out basically who done it. And so he goes to Quark, and we see them meet for the first time, and he goes to Kira, and he meets Kira for the first time. And so I think most of this episode is told by flashback, and it's kind of interesting to watch Odo go through all of these different steps and learning to be a detective. So eventually when we get to the end of the episode, I mean, it's just, like I said, it's a murder mystery. Everything gets solved. The interesting twist about this episode is, so the husband, we finally find out that what the woman was trying to steal, and that she was blackmailing some people, some Bajorans that were making money off of the Cardassian occupation. The interesting twist about this is throughout the episode, or throughout the flashback, Kira claims that she had nothing to do with the murder, but she admits to being part of the underground, and that she was trying to sabotage the station. And then the last part of this episode, we realize that she did actually kill the guy as her assignment of the underground told her to do, because he was one of the ones making money. So overall, it's an interesting episode. I'm not usually big on the conspiracy theory episodes, but for this one, I actually thought it was pretty good. I didn't mind it. So for those who have seen this, what did you guys think about the background episode, like all the flashbacks? What did you think of Odo meeting Kira and Quark for the first time? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Second Sight.